Hello and welcome to another Ask Me Mondays from Austria. Yes, we arrived. If you haven't seen the vlog, then check it out. The last vlog where we traveled to Austria, it's up. And also the vegan grocery haul. I show you everything I bought. So you can check out both of the videos up here. Check them out. And today I record another vlog. As I said, I made daily vlogs here. One day German, one day English, one day German, one day English. So every other day on this channel, vlogs. And yeah, the internet is so slow, but I will manage. Overnight I just upload and then publish in the morning. I will manage. Yeah, super slow, the upload rate. Oh, so my head is a bit somewhere else because I had an epic fail this morning. My little SD card from my drone, you know, it's a micro SD card, and my drone didn't accept it or something, so I popped it out and on the balcony, and here these little gaps like this small, and it fell down into the gap, and there's absolutely no way I can get it back. The balcony is just built so fixed that I can't open anything and can't get inside, and it's just, I just need to grab it, but I can't because it's that small of a gap, and it's just 60 euro SD card wasted. But yeah, I called my mother. Fortunately she's visiting us today and she's buying a new micro SD card, so she brings it to me so I can make awesome drone shots. The good thing about my drone, the Mavic Air, is that it has 8 gigabytes internal storage, so I could still make these awesome shots which you saw in the beginning, but 8 gigabytes is not much if you film in 4K, so that's why I'm glad my mother brings me a new one. And so the lesson for you: don't pop your micro SD card or even your SD card on a balcony open where there are little gaps, yeah, and if you can't get underneath, don't do it. So today I only make 15 minutes because so many things I want to do. So 15 minutes, I think that's alright for you. So just 15 minutes, and soon I make a podcast because your feedback last time was great. I make Ask Me Mondays podcast just to catch up with your question because I got so many questions. So, but yeah, today 50 minutes, and I hope I'm not too dark. It looks like I'm super dark in the background, is super bright, so I hope you don't mind. But I think it works. You only need to listen anyway. So let's go. 50 minutes on the timer. First question. Hi, I've been diagnosed with Crohn's disease last October. After going through a lot of medical stuff, I've gone vegan this March. Hey, good for you. Do you have any knowledge about the tips people struggling with inflammable? Unfortunately, I haven't looked into Crohn's disease and inflammable bowel disease, but I will. But I will also link you links down below of nutritionfacts.org, because I've no doubt Dr. Mark Greger has already some work on that, some videos or articles, and I will, if so, I will link you that down below. But that's a topic I will look into it, and then I will answer it and make a post at Vegan's Strengths. Hey, what is your opinion about fake meat? Great question. So fake meat or vegan meat or faux meat? Or faux meat, Scorpion said that's also named I don't know how it's spelled, but so yeah, fake meat. I made an infographic about it at Vegan Strength, so I will link you that down below. But my opinion is that they are great for people who want to transition, because they still have those old cravings, but you just you know, buy the fake meat, and a lot of them taste really similar. Some of them not at all, but some they really nailed it. And so just try a bunch. If you still, you know, you love meat or you love cheese or yogurt or something, just get the vegan versions. There is such a huge variety nowadays in most supermarkets, especially like in a Whole Foods in the United States. You have so much options, and they're great for transitioning. They're not super healthy, but mostly, all of them probably, healthier than the meat version, because the blend fake meat doesn't come with any cholesterol, hopefully a little saturated fats, mostly no trans fats, and also there are a lot of companies who really nailed it from the taste, and they make it clean as well. So there's some clean versions where they really only use like vegetables and a bit of salt, a bit of oil, but that's it, and they taste fantastic. I don't eat them anymore on a daily basis. I love to try new ones once in a while, but I just don't need them because my taste buds don't crave them. Meat and other animal products, honestly, they gross me out. If I see cheese, I don't want it, and it's just because I know what's behind and I don't crave it whatsoever. So why should I eat a fake cheese product? To try it once in a while, it's nice to see what options there are, and then I can recommend it to other people, but I don't crave it at all. But as I said, it's great. They have their place for people who are transitioning, and I know lots of vegans who still eat those substitute products on a regular basis, and that's great. I mean, I eat substitute products as well, like plant milk and soy yogurt and that stuff, but for fake meat I don't, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's mostly, as I said, much healthier than the meat version, and yeah, just try a bunch, and especially when you transition, go for them, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't use it as your main staple, because they're pricey. Some of them the price goes down as demand increases, but if you compare it, like beans or other legumes, they're just dirt cheap and they're so healthy. So if you're on a budget, then don't eat them too often, because they're kind of pricey, and legumes and whole grains are just much healthier. So eat those staples, fruits, vegetables, legumes and whole grains as your main staples. They're cheap and super healthy, and then those substitute products like an add-on on your meal, but not your main dish. Yeah, and check out my post I made down here on Instagram. What treadmill do you have? I have learned so much of you. Because of you, I turned vegan about 2 months ago. Oh, that's so great. I hope you're still vegan and thrive on blends meal by meal, but I have no doubt, and that's so great for you. And someone asked, Neil S, lifespan TR 1020 with motorized desk. Nice, because I don't even know. I mentioned it in a video, in a German video, where I showed my treadmill desk, but I don't know the name, but that is the name, yes, from the company Lifespan. Super pricey, I think over 1,500 euros, but super convenient because it just works. You can adjust the speed, and you see your steps here, and it's super comfortable, and it's quiet, and you can build it yourself, much cheaper, I have no doubt. But then, you know, I'm not so good at building stuff like that, and then connecting, and that it's so convenient that I can just hop on, and yeah, that's why I love it, and that's why I invested so much money in that, because I use it every day, and I already miss it here in Austria, but I will manage this 1 month. Hi, what are your thoughts about the popular vegan diets like high carb, low fat, HSLF, high starch, low fat maybe? I try to eat mostly carbs, but I eat seeds and nuts as well. I love legumes and think I could eat a kilogram of beans per day. Good for you, do that. Beans and legumes are so crazy healthy. They are nutritional powerhouse. They're considered not only a protein, but also a vegetable. Yes, they have lots of protein, but they're also packed with nutrients which are found mostly in vegetables, like lots of micronutrients. So eat your legumes every day, like beans, lentils, beets, chickpeas, tofu and other legumes. They're super healthy. And what I think about those popular diets, don't be too strict that you have to get into a specific ratio every day, like I eat 80-10-10 or something, 80% carbs, 10% protein and 10% fat, because it is much more important what you eat than to hit a particular macronutrient ratio. That is much more important than saying, oh, I always eat high carb, low fat, never go beyond 10% of my fats. No, it's much more important what you actually eat. On some days you have an avocado and are maybe at 20% fat, on other days you don't and only around 10% fat, and that is great. So focus on foods, focus on what you eat, and nuts and seeds should be eaten every day, a handful. So just eat healthy foods, eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts and seeds, herbs and spices, mushrooms and other plant-based products you enjoy. It is so much more important what you actually eat than the macro ratio, than hitting a specific macro ratio. Some days I'm super low protein and other days I have lots of protein because I had lots of legumes. It doesn't matter, it matters what I eat, and that is the most important thing. And if you look at a food and look at the macronutrients, like yeah, that is a good food because there's 20 grams of protein. No, the 20 grams of protein could come from from pork or it comes from legumes. And that is what matters, the source. So eat healthy, bland foods, whole food, plant-based nutrition. And if you do that, you automatically get into a ratio of mostly complex carbs, like 50, 60, 70, 80% even complex carbs, and then 10, 20% protein and 10, 20, maybe 30% fats. So that comes natural and it fluctuates. One day this, one day this, one day more protein, less, as I said, but focus eating healthy food. Eat your legumes, eat your nuts, eat your seeds. I recommend a handful or 2 tablespoons of nuts and seeds every day until you die. Next question. What are your thoughts on super meat made from animal stem cells? How did you and your girlfriend meet? Okay, that's another question. So about super meat, I call it clean meat or cultured meat. It has lots of names. Did I already answer that? I don't know. I will answer it. I will just answer it. So you take a stem cell out of an animal and then in a petri dish you can grow whatever you want from that animal. You can, whatever meat you want to eat, like I don't even know what parts of the animal you eat, but whatever you want, like the ribs or something, you can grow, not killing the animal, just take a stem cell and then grow it in a petri dish. And that is, I think, the next step. Oh yeah, we discussed it in the podcast with John Venus, because I asked John Venus, what do you think is the future of veganism? And he said, yeah, cultured meat. So check out that podcast. I link it also down below, Vegan's podcast. But in short, yeah, you take a stem cell and then you can grow out of the petri dish. And the benefit is that the transition could happen drastically, because if everyone would ditch meat and other animal products, it just takes a while. But just switching, okay, you eat, because there is no difference in taste in anything. It's the same stuff, but just out of a petri dish. So that could happen rapidly, in a matter of years, that consumers buy meat out of a lab, out of the petri dish. And what would happen, that the suffering of animals would decrease drastically. I don't want to butcher the numbers, but I think from 70 billion farmed animals, which we have right now, to only 10,000 worldwide. So drastically it would reduce the suffering of animals, and they're working already on it, that you can replicate the stem cells, so you don't need an animal at all. And when you take a stem cell, you don't need to kill it, you can just take the stem cell. But they're getting there where they can replicate the stem cell infinite amount, and we don't need animals whatsoever. So the animals are out, animal suffering would be gone, and that would be so important. That is one of the most important issues for me, because it's just, it kills me when I see that, when I just think about how animals suffer, and it's just, I want to stop that right now. So that would be a great solution. And it also, the resources, you know, cows, how much water they drink, how much food they eat, how much methane they produce, that would be drastically reduced. Not the energy, because it still takes a lot of energy for cultured meat, but for land use, for water consumption, for pollution, for all these factors, it would drastically decrease, and we, yeah, preserve our earth. So cultured meat, fake meat, clean meat, however you want to call it, great middle step before the world turns vegan, because in the Western countries, meat and other animal products profit decreases, but in the third world countries, or however you want to call them, like India, meat consumption goes up, because yeah, we want to live the American lifestyle, and now we have McDonald's and consume it all the time and get obese and heart disease and all that stuff, and they consume it more. So to stop this drastically, cultured meat would be great, and there are already so many companies out there oh, you know that word, on pork, on beef, on fish, on eggs, on chicken, on all the animal products, to grow them out of a petri dish. And that would be a great middle step. And I think once we're there, a bit after that, we don't need animal products whatsoever anymore. We wake up, because the meat, it doesn't make it healthier if it's out of a petri dish. It still has all the stuff we don't want. It has all the cholesterol, saturated fats, super high in sodium, trans fats, you know, all the stuff we don't want. It's still there. Maybe we can then tweak it to make it healthier, to get the saturated fats out a bit. But I think at that point we don't need it anymore, because we're woken up. We know plant foods are healthier, much more sustainable. But this cultured meat is a great middle step which could happen over years and just would reduce animal suffering so much. So I'm all for that, reducing animal suffering, and then veganism is the ultimate future, and it will come in a couple of years because we're waking up, accelerating. If you look at the profit of like plant milks and vegan substitutes, it's accelerating so much because people more and more ditch dairy, ditch cheese, ditch meat and other animal products and eat more plant foods. And all the studies supporting that, we have all the science. We just need to get, you know, all these corrupt industries out there who just want to make money. And yeah, but it's coming, so maybe it's a stupid question, but where can I buy your ebook? Is it English? You can just buy it on my website, vgains.org. Link is down below. And then just buy it. And yes, it's in English. It's only in English because my German followers are only, I think, 10%, and most of them speak English, so it just made much more sense to have it in English. My app is in English and German, so that's great. So if you speak German and your English is not that good, you can get my app and it's in German. But for my ebook, it's only in English, and my training guide is coming out so soon. I release it here, I promise. But yeah, it's also only in English, but all on my website, vgains.org. So, next question. Oh, I think the 50 minutes are over. Yes. 8 seconds. I think it's too dark, you can't see it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry that I kept it short, but I have lots of to do what I want to hustle today. But you will see it in the vlog, which comes tomorrow, because today I make an English vlog. Yes. And I hope you enjoyed the drone footage in this morning, and stay tuned in my Instagram stories as well. It's just so beautiful here. It's unbelievable. My eyes just cannot wrap my brain around how beautiful nature is, and to this panorama, to seeing that far, you know, no buildings block your view. No, you can see across the other mountains, which is kilometers away, and it's just breathtaking. So I'm so looking forward for your new questions down below, and I see you in my vlogs. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.